Hi guys, Alex Forte here, the Art of Simple Golf, with our friend Alistair Davis. Now, we are helping you with your natural swing plane. It's a complicated thing, or people make it more complicated than it needs to be, right? Why is the swing plane important for a start? Why is it something that people seem to care so much about?
Well, I think it's talked about a lot online by guys like me, guys like you, and other instructors. So it's labelled quite heavily, right? If you look on tour, there are a million different types of shape of backswings out there, right? All successful. I think the key thing is understanding, which is probably a different topic, but the key is understanding the compensations and patterns you need to make from different backswing positions to make things work. So all are pretty possible. What I think we're going to talk about is finding a more orthodox, natural way of finding your swing plane.
For you, instead of saying, trying to shoehorn yourself into someone else's, you need to be here, let's find your baseline first. And that's what this is about.
Yeah. And the idea behind it is if we can find the club in a more orthodox place in space and time, it means there's less compensation needed, which means you should be more consistent. Now, whether that is a fractionally more upright or a fractionally flatter position than A, B or C, it doesn't really matter so much. It's about, again, the comfort position, physically what you can do as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's get to it.
What we're looking at really is a way of checkpointing your backswing position, if you like, and trying to find that more natural position, natural flow.
Yeah, what I want from people to be able to use is, like, as you said, like self-evaluate those own checkpoints to say, what is my natural swing plane?
Yeah, and as I said, I'm going to show you a few demonstrations in a minute. We're quite easy in whether you're in the more upright position or the flat position or in the middle position. Yeah. So what we often talk about with people is making sure it's matched with their pivot, really. And what's going to happen in the backswing is the backswing is going to go in and upwards as we turn, okay? So we want the body to turn and we want the arms to go in and upwards. This is a natural occurrence because we're stood aside the golf ball. Now, the thing I'm going to ask you to look at is when you get to the top of that backswing position, if you let the club bounce, where does it hit you on the body? Okay, now ideally I want it to be hitting me about my mid-shoulder, okay? Mid at the top of the shoulder here. Now if it's above my shoulder in my kind of trap area, that would also be okay. Obviously if it's up by my head, that's very upright. And again, you have to work hard to get the club in the back to the ball correctly from that backswing position. If it was flatter like a Matt Kuchar, it'd be more my bicep. So the range is in between the kind of, let's say, trap to bicep. But ideally we want it around about the shoulder to be more orthodox.
That's the center line.
Yeah, that will mean then you've got less compensation. You don't have to shallow the arms very quickly and urgently in the way down to be successful.
Are you thinking about a sequence to enable someone to kind of hit that sort of spot? Like, is there, because there's obviously different ways, as we know, in a golf swing, like they could get it by just moving their body, their arms, or they could move their body too much and not move their arms so they feel like they're here. Like, is there a kind of combination that to try and get to that center line?
Okay, yes.
I don't want to get into it too much, but just something that they can think about to make sure that they're not making compensations just to get to that spot.
I think the key is we've got to feel like our back is facing target and our shoulders are more or less pointing level with the ball. They're going to be above the ball, but certainly turning to the level of the ball in terms of this direction here. Ideal will for me, the swing would start a little bit with the arms, then the body would turn and we get that bounce. So it'd be kind of the arms flowing away. Imagine if we did this little kick start. Let the arms flow away, then let the body turn, and can we bounce it down our shoulder?
So arms start, then back to target, and then let the bounce.
For me, if we start too much with too body, we end up getting the club too in. That's the only issue with that. Too many people get too stuck into the one-piece takeaway, and it gets this kind of look, which I don't like. I much prefer the kind of flow. If I just had this as a ball I was throwing in the air, I'd naturally get turned. I'd naturally get the arms going up. And that's kind of when we're talking about natural swing plane. Let the club kind of go up. Let it try and bounce off our body. And where do we hit? I very rarely miss my shoulder. If you look at this, I have to compensate somehow to get somewhere else. And I'm not trying to control that club in space and time, which is again really what you're into here, isn't it? You don't want that to happen.
So basically after practicing that and finding that center line, then you just kind of carry on and swing as normal with that. Is it like, are we looking at this as a bit of training?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 100%. That would be a practice drill. Then you'd go from making a few backswings. Okay, can I then go to the golf ball and repeat that swing pretty similarly. And it should be somewhere around my shoulder top. I cross-line the club a little bit due to my poor flexibility more than anything else. So it tends to get a little bit that way with me. But again, in its orientation, if it was my shoulder, and most people when we talk about swing playing want the left arm or lead arm and the shoulders pretty matched. Now there are different people who have a flatter shoulder plane than the more upright arm, but you have to have that match. So if you have got a flatter shoulder turn, your arms will be higher.
Okay.
If you have a steeper shoulder turn, the arms generally will probably be a little bit lower,
Okay.
like a Matt Kuchar.
Matt Kuchar, or
Yeah.
Justin Thomas is one that springs to mind, who's a lot steeper, right?
Yeah,
So,
but he does a great job on the way down,
yeah.
which makes him successful.
Well, I mean, he gets amazing sort of shallowing and power, doesn't
Yeah,
he? So
fantastic.
that's fantastic. All right, well, there you have it. There's a really simple way to find your natural baseline plane, and from there you can just start. You know, you've got something to work on, something to build from. It's perfect. A great lesson there. Check out Alistair's channel for. We've got a part here where we're sort of reversing it about how to find your natural sequence for your downswing. So go and check that out. Check out some other videos he's got. If you have any questions about this, like and subscribe to the channel as well. And there's a really cool offer down below for a brilliant series to help every facet of your game and keep it simple. Thanks for watching.